This course is basically aimed at training students in the methods of how do we think about archives historically. So how do we do historical research? What do we do with various types of sources? But more than that, it's aimed for people across the social sciences. So it's really aimed at how do we actually interrogate archives as a subject of historical inquiry, and what does that make us kind of consider about the creation of our sources, the ways that they're stored, and the ways that this should dictate how we write about history or the past or whatever your particular discipline's concern is. So the main goal of this is to try to collapse kind of like broad theories on archives and the complexities with the actual practice that we do as social science researchers. So skills that I want my students to walk away from this course with is, first of all, how to consider the kinds of power dynamics that shape both the researcher when they go to do research, the kind of unconsidered biases that they may carry, and also the kinds of power dynamics that shape the archives themselves, both in terms of what is actually collected, how it's organized, and the types of narratives that tries to kind of overlay over these objects that they're trying to study. They're also going to figure out how to expansively apply the concept of an archive to things like the cityscape and other kinds of innovative ways that we might think about archiving. And so at the end, my students are going to leave the class being more rigorous and more ethical and more self-aware social science researchers. The thing I'm most excited about, and I think my students will be most excited about, is that we try to put these theoretical concerns about the archive and archives in general into practice. So half the course, each time we meet, will typically be discussing the kinds of readings that I've assigned, but then we will do things like walk around the OI and see how these concerns play out. We'll go to various archives and see how they curate and how they actually make decisions about collecting. So I'm excited, and I think my students will be excited about actually closing the kind of theoretical and practical gaps that can often exist in these types of courses. Although historical thinking is in the title of the class, this is really applicable to all students across the social sciences and even the humanities more generally, if we're being honest. I think anyone who wants to do research about a topic in the past or even the present, since we go right up to the current digital age and the effect that has on the archives, anyone who is doing any sort of archival research would benefit from this course.